Hello everyone, very good morning and good evening. Parminder here. Welcome to SAP S/4HANA Simple Logistics Training and our next chapter on data migration. I hope you all are able to hear me clearly and you can also see my screen. Ash, can you please confirm?
Yeah, hi Praminder. I can hear you and I am able to see your screen.
Okay, thank you guys. Thank you very much. Now, I will quickly go through as usual. We'll be quickly going through from the topics which we have covered last. So in our last topic, we covered all the details of business partners, the business partner configurations, business partner master data, and business partner Fiori application that we have covered. And then we started with our S/4HANA data migration, the migration cockpit we have started with. That what are the different approaches are there for the data migration in SAP S/4HANA. So this is the first thing we have discussed. We discussed about that how we can do the data migration in S/4HANA. LSMW can be used, but not recommended by SAP. We can do a data migration with the data services, business object data services, bots. Then we can, the highly recommended ETL tool, extract, transform, and load tool from SAP side is HANA Migration Cockpit. So we discussed in the HANA Migration Cockpit, we have three things available. We have a staging files, we have a data upload from the Excel files, and we have a direct data transfer from ECC 6.0. So direct data transfer ECC 6.0 is available from 1909. Staging files are available from 1809. And before that, only Excel files was available. Apart from that, you can also upload the data by creating your own Z programs. Okay, that's also one of the way still available. You can also load the data by using a third-party tools. So some of the third-party tools are highlighted as a process runner or wind shuttle. Still, those tools you would be able to use it and load the data into your SAP system. These tools has been modified and adopted to the SAP S/4HANA. Then we discussed the architecture of HANA Migration Cockpit. So HANA Migration Cockpit, here we try to discuss the architecture, that how the data would be loaded. The data would be loaded through the Excel files. That architecture we have tried to understand, where on the left hand side we can have any SAP or non-SAP system. So this is our legacy system. On the right hand side, we are having our S/4HANA system, the new system to which we want to migrate to, which is linked to your HANA database structure, HANA database. So we will be doing, first thing, we'll be creating a data migration project in S/4HANA, and we will be downloading the object templates. Object templates means it can be a material template, it can be a customer template, your bank master data template, your GL master data template. So different kind of 80 objects are now available which come out of the box. So earlier with LSMW, you need to do 5 or 6 different steps to do the field mappings, to do the target mappings. Then this Excel templates was coming. Now this Excel template can be directly generated through this S/4HANA HANA Migration Cockpit. You just need to download Excel. Standard Excel templates are already available. You just need to download the Excel template. Once the Excel template is downloaded, the other activity you need to do from any of the legacy system, you need to extract the data. Now in the point number 3, how you will extract the data, the HANA Migration Cockpit is not worried about that. Okay, so you can extract it by the existing programs which is available in the legacy system, or you can create a new programs in the legacy system which can extract the data in the same format which you require to upload in S/4HANA system. Okay, that kind of development also we do. Once the data has been extracted, we also transform the data. All the data cleansing, data quality part, we do it manually. And once the data is prepared, we load the data into our, through the Excel templates, we load the data into the migration cockpit. With the migration cockpit, we have an option where we can go ahead and do the mappings of your material type or plant, company code, If any mapping is required, you can do the mappings here. So once the mappings has been done, you will import the data, and it uses the standard BAPIs and functional modules to send the data to the backend HANA database in tables like Mara table, Mark table, or Mart table. Standard table has been used, and data has been transferred to them through the application layer. Second approach we discuss is that data can be transferred through the HANA migration cockpit with the staging tables. So what is the concept of staging tables? The concept of staging table is basically, rather than having a manual intervention in between. So in previous approach, there is a lot of manual intervention of the Excel files there. So wherever the volume is very high, you would be facing a lot of issues with the manual handling of these Excel files. Okay, where the volumes are high and you want to go ahead with the automated process where all the business logics, rules, data cleansing can happen by using some tool. So we can use intermediate tools. The most popular intermediate tool is that BODS, Business Object Data Services. This BODS tool will connect with your legacy system, your SAP or non-SAP system. It will get the data. It will transform the data based on the business logics. You need to build the business logics for within the BODS system as per the requirement. For your data cleansing rules, you need to build it. There are some standard mappings are also available if you're using a ECC 6.0. For that, we have a rapid data migration, which comes with the standard mappings, so that your work will be reduced. So in this way, BODS will be getting data from your legacy system, and then rather than sending data directly to S4HANA, it would be populating directly data into the staging tables. So that BODS part, which is BODS we have explained here is doing, can be done by a third party, can also be done by your extractor tools or your legacy system if it has capability. It can create the files and directly put into the staging tables so that the manual handling of the files can be avoided. Your HANA database concept, smart data integration, smart data quality can be used for this one, or direct DB connections can also be used. Any tool which can connect to databases directly, take the data from these tables, convert and send the data into the staging tables. Staging tables are nothing but a temporary tables. You will not be able to see this staging table anywhere in S4HANA because it will be sitting in a separate database or separate schema. So this will not be visible. So you would be again using a migration cockpit. Again, earlier in the migration cockpit, you was uploading the Excel files. Now there's no need to upload the Excel files. You will just need the staging files, get the data from the staging file and do the same process, and you would be able to send the data to your specific MARA, MARC or MARD table. You would be able to do that. Okay. So that is the second approach we discussed with the staging tables. The third approach, which is a very new approach, it came only in 1909. If your source system is ECC 6.0 and your target system is S4HANA, now in HANA Migration Cockpit in 1909 version, you can use RFCs to call the data, to call the objects like material, customer, those objects you can directly call it and send it to the HANA Migration Cockpit. And from there, it can directly update by using standard function modules or BAPI. So two systems can be connected with the RFC and the data can be transferred. So that functionality is also available with the SAP S/4HANA 1909. So we discussed all the three processes which is available for the data migration, although we have not gone into the system to execute it. Now we'll be going into the system to execute our HANA Migration Cockpit. Before we go ahead there, I will take a quick pause to check with you guys if you have any questions from the previous sessions, the business partner sessions, or any other question from the previous session. If you have, you can ask it now.
Parminder, couple of basic questions in the system. I have some query. Maybe end of the session I will ask you.
Is it regarded to business partner or regarding
No,
to
no, no,
data
much
migration?
before that.
Okay, okay. So we'll connect as soon as I finish my topics. We'll connect with you at the end of the session.
Just a quick question, Parminder. When did we start today's session? I was unable to log on from my computer, so I'm just using this from my phone. I just started like 3 minutes ago. So just checking how much I missed.
We started around 5 minutes after our scheduled time. And we have not covered anything. I've just explained what we have done in our last session.
Okay. Thank you.
Sure.
Hey, Parminder, this is Vic. Can I ask you a quick question?
Yeah, please go ahead.
So, you know, the methodology you were showing right now with the RFC call coming from HANA and bringing data directly into from ECC into HANA, where would you do your cross, you know, mapping and things like that? Where you want to do transformation? Where would you do that? If you direct pull data from
all the mappings, we would be doing it in HANA Migration Cockpit. So HANA Migration Cockpit, even though it is directly uploaded through Excel files, or it is done through the staging files, there is a mandatory steps is there in HANA Migration Cockpit that you need to do the mapping with your old data to new data. It can be any field. It can be your material, it can be your customer, it can be plant, unit of measures. Any mapping you need to do, it need to be done in the HANA Migration Cockpit. I will show you today where we do that mappings.
Thank you.
Sure. Any other questions, guys, before we proceed ahead? That I hope you all would be able to go through in our system, and we have also uploaded some exercises, and all the session notes are there. You are exploring the system. I hope you have configured the system as guided in our exercises in detail, creating your own company code and all configurations. If still somebody has not done, if still somebody has not somebody has not explored the Fiori application, please start it on immediate basis. Okay, and please put your question. I already see that some people has done these detailed configurations in the system as guided by us, and they face some of the issues which they also posted in forum, which we have responded back. So if you still did not get a time to go ahead and configure the system, please do it now, because it's a high time. Now, whatever the things we are going to discuss it here, I expect you to do some hands-on practice on the system so that the concept would be gone much deeper in your blood. Okay, one more thing before I start, I want to update you is we are having one demo session today at 8 p.m. India Standard Time. That demo session is there for SAP S/4HANA Production Planning and Manufacturing. And that training actually is done by Tara, who actually is also part of this training also. He's our trainer also. So he would be conducting that training. So if any one of you are interested to join that demo, where we'll be going through with SAP S/4HANA Production Planning and Manufacturing in detail, you can join that. If you have not received the link, Arsh would be forwarding the link, and I can quickly show in our website. I can quickly show that how you can go through that.
So can you just forward the link to somebody if somebody wants to join?
Yeah, Arsh, can you please share the link here itself? And anytime if you will be logging into a website, you would be getting this pop-up. This pop-up is basically for joining into this production planning and manufacturing demo only. Okay, it's today 8 p.m. India Standard Time, 9:30 a.m. CST time. You can just click on add me to free demo, and you will be getting all the details. You need to, it is starting in 13 hours. You need to fill up your details here, and you would be getting the meeting links to join it. Okay, guys, so you can go through it. If you don't find this pop-up, you can go through in courses. You can go through the instructor-led courses. And here you are having SAP S/4HANA Production Planning and Manufacturing. All of the details are here. Okay, and here you would be having all the details which you want to see. If you want to see the curriculum, that also would be available here. This is current and upcoming batches. And curriculum here. Hey, Arsh, the link is missing in the current batch and upcoming batch.
Yeah, I am updating it.
Okay,
Sorry
okay.
for that.
Please also share the link with everyone. If anyone would be interested, they will join. Okay, guys. So that's a quick update on our new course, which we are starting from next Saturday, and the demo is there today.
How about SD? Is there any plan to start as for SD?
Yes, SD is also there in pipeline. We have one more trainer, Mr. Raj is there. So as soon as we get his time, we would be starting in 2 weeks period SD. Okay.
PPDS?
PPDS, I myself would be starting. So we have another plan that this simple logistics, we will pause it for some time. And then I will pick it up from PPDS and EWM. But that will take minimum 2 to 2.5 months.
And how many sessions do you think are left with our this thing?
We are in the midway. So we have almost done 20 sessions. So 20 more sessions you can expect.
Oh.
So the basics part we have covered. Now we have already jumped into the system parts and other parts.
Right.
Okay, guys. So let's go ahead in our topic. So now we understood that how the basic concept or what is the architecture for HANA Migration Cockpit. So that now we will be going through in detail in the system, that how we need to use it. The theory part we understood, the architecture we understood. Let's now discuss that how we can go ahead and use it. Okay, so I'm logging into our remote desktop, and through the remote desktop, I'm logging into our 1909 system. The transaction code which we'll be using here, we'll be using 2 transaction code, guys. So first transaction code which we'll be using here is LTMC, and the second transaction code which we'll be using here is LTMOM. So let me first highlight you that what we will be doing with these both of the transactions. So LTMC is the first transaction code we'll be using, and LTMOM is the second transaction code we'll be using. Actually, in project, you would be using this transaction first, and then later on this transaction. But I will explain this first, because unless you don't understand LTMC, you will not be able to understand what LTMOM is doing. Okay, so we will discussing this part first, LTMC. LTMC would be used by all of your consultants. Plus, you can now also give it to your business users who are your key users and who are involved in the data migration. Your data migration team, you can directly give it. Earlier, we were having LSMW, right? In LSMW, we get the data and only consultant was using to upload the data. Now, this LTMC is little bit, it's not very highly simplified for end user, I will say. But it is that much simplified that can be easily used by your key business users who is involved in the data migration, stream or data migration modules. That team, if they are involved, you can give it to them. Otherwise, your specific data migration team would be using, or if the functional consultants are loading the data, they would be using LTMC. What we will be doing with LTMC? In LTMC, it's an operational transaction. All the operation activities for the data migration, you're downloading your template, filling and then uploading template, and doing next step where you would be doing validation, basic validation, simulation, and finally importing the data into your system. Those all things would be done through the transaction LTMC. Okay, all the operations things would be done by the LTMC. So this work, by default, it would be working by the standard templates which have been provided by SAP. Now in project, what would be happening? You would like to change the standard templates. You might need to add your own Z fields. You might need to hide some fields. You might need to make some fields mandatory. Because sometimes what happens is standard Excel templates come with the 100 of fields. But actually your business is using only 20 to 30 fields. So it doesn't make sense to confuse your business by giving 100 of these fields. So you can change those standard SAP templates by using LTMOM. That is basically your configuration of data migration. And who would be doing this? This would be done by only consultants, your data migration consultants or your functional consultant would be working on this. No end users, no key user, because this transaction is not that simplified that it can be used by those users. Apart from that, there is no transport associated with this configuration. So basically there is another concept I will show you, the import and export concepts is there. The same way we have that concept in LSMW. The same way here we also have an import and export concept to remove your data and to take it through the next development system, quality system or production system. Now let's jump it. I will take a quick screenshot of this and put it in our presentation deck. And then I will jump into the system. Okay, guys, let's go into our system. Yeah. So the first transaction code which we are going to execute is LTMC. During my explanation, if you have any question, you can raise your hand, or you can also type your question on the chat window. By default, it would be working on the Internet Explorer. It works fine with the Internet Explorer, but personally, I like it to use Google Chrome. So I would be opening in Google Chrome. We need to give our same user ID and password. You can also directly share, it's a WebDyn Pro application. You can also directly share the URL with the migration team. Okay, so the first screen you see here, this is migrate your data. The first scene you see here is projects. There are so many projects here. You need to also create your project. This is just a test system. Each user is creating a multiple projects. But the first thing you need to do here is create a project. And when you create a project, it automatically gives you a mass transfer ID, or you can also specify your own mass transfer ID. Okay, and you need to also specify here the data source. What is the data source? I told you we can load it through the file or the staging table. That also you need to maintain it here. So when you will be clicking on create project, a pop-up window will come. And in this pop-up window, you need to enter the name of the migration project. So this transfer ID is very important, guys. Make a note of this transfer ID. Whatever the transfer ID you are creating it here, the same transfer ID you need to create in your quality system, and the same transfer ID you need to create it in the production system, because you want to do the import and export of all of the things which you have done. All of the templates which you have created or changes you have done through of the standard things you have done, you want to transfer it everything to your quality and production system. So mass transfer ID would be a key for that part. So you need to make sure the same mass transfer ID you use it, and you create your project in the quality and production system with the same mass transfer ID. So SG02 we are using it. So the same thing I will use, migration project, SG02 migration project. All the data has been created through SG02. So the project name also I'm giving it through SG02. Transfer data from file. We also understood that what is the transfer data from staging table. We all already understand that. You can generate a new mass transfer ID, or you can also give your own. So I will try to give my own SG2. The data which you would be uploading it here, what is the retention time which the data would be here, that also you can give it 30 days. I have given the retention time, and you will create a project. So once you will create a project, the project would be appearing here. Okay, so as soon as you have created a project, it is appearing here, and all of the objects, these are the objects. Objects are nothing but your master data which you want to upload is appearing here, but it is not included in project. You need to click on the objects to include in the project. Here you see the export content and import content. This you would be using it when you want to move from development to quality or quality to production. You will export a content. It will create one kind of zip file for you, and then you need to import it into your quality or production system. Make a note, your mass transfer ID should be same to use this import and export functionality. Okay. Now, before I go ahead, I want to discuss one thing. We have created a project, but what exactly the project is? What is the use of project? How many different kind of projects you need to create it? Okay, whether it is sufficient to create one project, or we need to create a multiple projects. So, and what is the use of creation of this project? I will try to put some light on that, and then we'll proceed ahead. So quickly, I will put some light. Project in data migration. So we said we need to create a project. So you need to make a note here. There is a one thing called object. So what is your object? Your master data, your material master is one object. Your customer master is another object. So material master is object, customer master is object. So these objects come with the standard configuration. Or you can say the standard Excel template. So these standard things, if you want to change it, you cannot change these standard things, standard objects. So what SAP has provided, SAP has combined this object with project. So you create your project. We have created SG02. And then we will be adding it this object. So SG02 plus material master. These two will combine, and any changes we do it in our template. Let's say you removed 10 fields from your templates. Now, removal of that 10 fields is not from the material master as the object. It's based on this combination of your project and object. So just to give you an example, material master is a single object, but within material master, you would be creating a data for your finished goods, semi-finished goods, raw materials, non-stock materials. Now, all of these materials, there would be separate teams which would be giving this data. And there can be separate fields which would be required to give in this data. Okay. For example, for raw material, we don't bother to collect the data related to volume or weight. But for our transportation purposes, that data makes much more sense in the FG, your volume or weight related data. For raw materials, you are not going to produce, so you don't collect your PP related data, your work scheduling views. You don't collect it. Okay, so you might need to create a separate template for raw materials and a separate template for FGs. Now, to create a separate template, you need to change object material master. Object can be changed only with reference to project. So if this is your scenario where all the 4 templates are required, where some different fields you will make mandatory to be filled by business, and different fields will be visible in your template. So object is single, but you want to generate multiple Excel templates out of it. So that can be done by creating a multiple projects. SG01, SG02, SG03, SG04. So you can create multiple projects with the material master to create multiple different templates. Okay, so that is how the project has been created. That is how the project has been used as a combination of object and project. All the changes would be stored. If one object you need to change in 10 different ways, you need to create a 10 different projects for that. I will take a quick pause here to check if you have any question on this project creation. I can see one thing on the chat window. Which path in Fiori did we go to? We just executed LTMC transaction from the GUI. From Fiori, if you want to do, you need to just create a tile for it, LTMC tile. Till 1809, SAP has not given a standard LTMC tile, but you can quickly create it. I'm not sure whether in 1909 there is a Fiori tile for LTMC, but it can be quickly done in a few minutes as per our Fiori sessions. You understand that each transaction can be converted quickly into the Fiori tile. Okay, you can just go into your logon pad and type the transaction code LTMC. I have another question. What would be the benefit of removing fields from an object? So basically what happens, I will show you the templates. So we are having from SAP side, although SAP has not included all of the fields, all of the standard fields they have not included. They have included only the fields which is mandatory, which most of the businesses use. Still, the templates are so complex. So if you give that complex template to business user, he makes more mistakes. So you just want to give a linear template to the business users so that they can just fill the information which is required. There is 15 another field in the Excel fields, which in between they need to skip. We are not using it. So if you just put those column as it is, the user make a lot of errors. So you want to make sure that those fields has been removed. Some fields from your business logic point of view, for your SFG, you want to make sure that they put the procurement type. Okay, procurement type should be mandatory. So you can make that field mandatory. You want to make sure that they fill the MRP controller for SFG. They fill the in-house production time for SFG, which would not be required for RM. So all of these fields, although at the master data point, it can be mandatory or not mandatory, but filling in the Excel, you can make it mandatory by changing them in the Excel template. All the changes will be doing through transaction LTMOM. Yeah, just if you can unmute yourself and ask a question.
No, I guess that was it. I was not sure, like, how did we reach there? So.
Okay. Adding a field is not that complex exercise. You can do it easily, but still it will require a consultant to do it because it is not that simple that it can be done by your end users. So your consultants need to do it to add a fields or remove a fields. It's quite quick actually, not that difficult. Okay, so if you don't have any other question, I will jump into our system and we will see that how first to use LTMC, then we'll see how the changes can be done by LTMOM. Okay, so far we have created our project SG02 migration project. Now in this SG02 migration project, we want to first select the object. So you can see here the name of the objects. So the name of the objects basically are the basic objects which you would be loading a data. So we have activity type, we have bank, we have characteristics. You can search from here or you can just scroll down from here and you can find it out the different objects which you need to load it. We'll be using a very simple example first with the material master, and then we will go ahead with the maybe one more example of business partner customer. Two examples which we'll be using it here to load the data. So this is a material. You can see the material part here. So we have material for forecasting planning. We have separate. If you want to extend with the long text to the material, there's a separate template. If you want to create, we will use this one. If you want to extend after creation, if you want to extend the material to the new organization levels, to the new plants, to the new sales organizations, if you want to do that, we use this template. So separate templates are there. For creation, separate. For extension, separate template. We don't have any template for change, guys. So again, if you want to do the change in the mass, SAP recommend to go through the standard SAP transaction code, the mass transaction, or I think we have one more MM17 transaction. You can use it to do the mass changes, but here we don't have it. Now the material here is a documentation till the last version till 1809. The full documentation SAP has given here. Now they have replaced that all the documents which if you want to get it, it would be on the SAP help portal. So you need to copy this link if you want to check documentation of this, and then you need to put it under our remote desktop. It will not be working because internet connection has been blocked. So you need to go outside the remote desktop. I will go into the Internet Explorer and I will be putting it here. So here, this is a SAP S/4HANA help for the migration objects. You can select the version which you are on. So this is the 1909 latest version. So here you can see that there are the multiple migration objects are there. We were looking for material. So let's search here. Okay, material. This is our material. So we want to go ahead, detail of this. Sorry, I need to go one step back. Let me search again. Material. So we will be going ahead with this file or staging table for the material. So here you can see that the detailed information is available, that what is in scope. Initial load of the material is in scope, your basic data, plant data, story location, accounting data, sales data. All of this data has been included in this template. What is out of scope? Internal numbering is not supported, guys. Make a note. Multiple people ask, can we go ahead with the internal numbering while loading a data? SAP doesn't support. For uploading a data, it would be taking only the external numbers. For long text, there is another template which is mentioned. It is not supported in this, but there is another template which you can use for the long text. Okay. So if you can read through the detailed template, it would be telling you that what different things is required here. Okay. So you can go into the detail that how different thing can be managed here. So rather than taking you into this detail, which you can read it out, I would be actually explaining you by giving you a practical example. But anything you want to check it about any field which you are not sure about, or you want to get more detail of it, this is a one place shop. You can go ahead and identify from here. Okay. What are the follow-on activities you need to do once the materials has been created? You can see the material from this MM16 or MM03. Okay, so that is the documentation part. We will go ahead and we'll actually do it. So you will see that what kind of different things we need to do it. So first you need to click on the object. So when you click on the object, what system is doing? System is copying the standard material object to your project. Okay, system is doing a copy for you so that you can do any changes on this object which you want to do, and it would be specific to your project. This tool will be taking a little bit of time. Earlier 1610, when it was introduced in 1610, it was pathetic. It has improved, but still multiple places when you will be using LTMC and LTMOM, it will take a little bit of time. So even what we recommend that when you're using it first time, you should use it with a few records, 5 or 10 records. Then you should increase the number of records. And this is not a very good tool where the volumes are very high. If the volumes are very high of your data, we prefer to use this tool with some intermediary part where you can use BODS, Business Object Data Services, rather than using only Excel uploads. Excel itself will create a lot of problem when the data itself is huge. Okay, guys, so as soon as you come to this window, what do you see here? Again, a link to documentation has been provided. So you can go through the documentation here also. The same link would come in here. And then here they have provided you download template. So this is the first step we are going to do. We are going to download the template. So once you will download the template, what you will get? The standard material template. So to do this stuff in LSMW, we need to do the multiple steps, right? Do the field mappings and everything so that the Excel template can be generated and it can be used by business. So that work SAP has already done. You can just click it here, Excel template will come. Once it comes, the second step which we'll be doing is update data. How we do it, it's a different story. What objects we use it, or whether we use programs, some automation, different story, but the data need to be updated into the Excel files. And in the third step, I would be loading an upload file from here. In the fourth step, what I need to do I need to activate it. Okay. Once I activate it, here you need to select and we need to activate it. Once you activate it, you can go to the fifth step, doing the start transfer. Once you do the start transfer, first it goes to step called validation. Then it would be going to another step where we need to do the mappings. So there was a question related to mapping, right? How the mapping would be happening between the source and target. That mapping would be happening here in the 7th step. In the 8th step, the simulation would be happening. System would try to simulate that if this data goes into your S/4HANA system, what kind of errors would be coming up. In the 9th step, you would import the data. Finally, the data will go into S/4HANA system. And make a note, this tool is only available for S/4HANA. Your ECC or suite on HANA cannot use. This is only S/4HANA on-premise or cloud can use it. Specifically built for S/4HANA. I will just take a quick screenshot of this and I will provide it to you. Okay. So our object has been copied. So let's download the template. Before I download the template, any question here, guys? If you guys have any question, doubt, you can ask before I move ahead. Okay, I don't see any questions. Jasdeep, your hand is raised. If you have a question, you can unmute. Otherwise, you can lower down your hand.
Oh, I think it was earlier, but I could try to click download and I guess it was throwing some error, but please go ahead.
Are you parallelly trying to use this transaction? If anyone is trying to parallelly use it, please don't use parallelly. Just focus on this thing, and then you can do it offline. Okay, because of two things. You would not be able to focus here. You will miss some points. Second thing, it can also make the system slow. Our demo would be a little bit slow if multiple people are using at the same time. Okay, so I will click it here on download template. So it says that it will harm you, or it's just XML file. I will just keep it. I don't mind it. And I will open it. So this is the template which we were talking about. Okay, I will go through the enable editing. Now, if you want to go through the documentation, the same kind of documentation is also given here in very detailed format. Okay. So in very detailed format, within the Excel also, all of the documentation is available. What is the mandatory? What is the optional? What is the color coding? How SAP has defined star? If date fields are there, how to update the date fields? Decimals, how it need to be updated? Date, time. All the guidance has been given in the first introduction part. Okay. So wherever the color, you need to note down the color. The color yellow means in this template, it is mandatory to fill this basic data. That is the minimum thing. If I want to upload this template, this basic data filling is mandatory. Within that also, if you go into the field list, okay, so your basic data is mandatory. Within the basic data, you can see these fields are mandatory. And your base unit of measure is also mandatory. Your base unit of measure is also mandatory. So these are the mandatory fields. So if I want to update my material, the minimum material number, language key, descriptions, industry sector, material type, base unit of measure, that I need to give it. Is it mandatory to give material and plant combination here? This is the plant data. Is it mandatory? It is not mandatory until unless I fill any data into this plant tab. If I am filling any data into the plant tab, which is the blue one, then the mandatory fields in the blue would be required. Some people go here and just filter it, the importance mandatory, and they thought that if you want to fill it, all of the mandatory fields need to be filled. No, please understand. The yellow one, this is the basic data yellow, all the mandatory fields need to be filled. Whenever you go to the blue tabs, if you want to extend the data to plant, and if you want to fill any data into this tab, then this mandatory fields will come into the picture. Otherwise, it will not play any role. Similar way, if you want to extend any data into the storage location, then these three fields are mandatory. It will come into the picture. Otherwise, it will not come into the role. Okay, so this is the details has been available. What are the different fields? Very nicely, the document has been created. The LSMW document which we create is not in that nice and detailed format. That is the benefit. It's a very nice and detailed format. Basic data. Now here, this is a template which need to be data need to be filled. So you need to make this bigger, number 8 bigger, because a lot of details are available here. Okay, so a star sign is there, whichever the field is mandatory to be filled. And it also has what is the type, whether it's a text field, decimal fields, numeric fields, date fields, that is there. And available length, the length which you can use it to fill in this template, that also is available. That also need to be filled. Okay, before we go ahead, if you have any questions, you can ask it here. I have a question. Can the field status be updated to suit the business requirement? Just like it is configurable in ECC, where a mandatory field can be made an optional field. Yes, it's available. We can do that. I will show you how to do it. The transaction code will be using LTMOM for that, to do that configuration. Yeah, Puneet, sure. Just give me a minute. You can go ahead, unmute yourself, Puneet.
Yeah. I mean that initially you were told that you have to, maybe I missed actually. So to activate the objects for the temporary table will be created in the DB. So that has been done.
No. That's another part. We will not going to do the demo for that because that required another set of consultant. BODS, Business Object Data Services, would be required to integrate it. So this is I show you the 3 ways, right? We are on the first way where basically we are uploading the data through the Excel files without staging table. This is without staging table.
Okay.
If the staging table will come into the picture, this part which we are doing will not come into the picture. Then these tables need to be automatically filled by some external tool and save it into the staging table in the database directly. Okay, then it will go from your functional consultant bucket. It will go to the BODS, data services. For BODS, you have special team, special consultant. It will go into their bucket. And you also need to have that separate product, separate service server, and separate consultants and team who would be managing the BODS part, who would be managing your staging files. Okay, guys. Okay, before I move ahead, can anyone tell me the material number length here is given as 80? Why it is 80? Why material number is 80? Anyone? You can unmute yourself if you want to speak.
Could it be because you would like to store the long description in the same field?
description in the material number field itself.
I'm sorry, this is number, not description. My bad.
This is number. This is number. Anyone else? Why it is 80? Soumya, you want to give any thought on that?
Language
Sorry?
is a language specific.
Language specific. Even you would see here the language is also 80. So
I
we
think so.
Mhm.
Okay, I think so. Maybe we can get as many as 40, 80 characters, but we then again, as per S4HANA specification, we have to map it to then 40. That's, I think so, the length of the material. This is what I have in my mind.
Absolutely correct. Very correct statement. Yes, that's correct. So what is happening here? SAP has given you 80 character to fill in this Excel template, where SAP is expecting you might be getting the same data in your legacy system. So your legacy system can have 40 characters. Okay, or it can have a material with the 50 character. So legacy system can have a material with the 50 character. And your SAP S4HANA permit 40 characters. So SAP expect that you can take those higher number values from here. That's not an issue. But when you are taking those higher number values from here, you should be able to map it to something else. So material is one case. Let's say the language here in your system is maintained like ENG. The language is maintained as ENG. Now this ENG need to be mapped with, somehow my pen is not working. I will type it here. So language is ENG, or language in your legacy system is ENG-LISH. So you can take the same data into the Excel, okay, and then you can provide a mapping that ENG-LISH is actually EN in S4HANA. So that will be done. This would be the mapping. Another thing can be a material type. You can say also 80, because your material type can be, your legacy system can have a material type finished, but your S4HANA is have FERT. So this finished, you can map it with FERT. So Excel template would be having finished, but when it would be going into S4HANA, you need to maintain this mapping. And from mapping, whenever in the material type finished is coming, system will automatically send to S4HANA FERT. There are the two ways. One way is that when you are maintaining this template, while maintaining this template itself, you can do all of this corrections, and you only maintain FERT here. Another way is that you just got as it is from your legacy data, and then you are just mapping it here. The both is possible. Okay, so the both way it is possible. You can go ahead and maintain what is required FERT, or you can maintain the values which is coming from legacy system, and then it can be easily mapped to your S4HANA system. That's why you will see the most of the places they have given a longer character, 80 characters they have given it, so that you can freely define what is coming from the legacy data. In this, a lot of details has been mentioned, which can help user to fill these things. Okay, so we will be going ahead and we will be filling it, this template. I will just fill it for one material and then you can practice it to do it for multiple materials in your own time. So let's say I'm creating the material number is mandatory SG02. Upload one. So let's say that is the material number I'm giving. Language key I'm giving EN. Material description is HANA migration cockpit upload. Industry sector is I'm giving as M. So we want to see the mapping. So to see the mapping, I am giving here finished material type rather than giving FERT. I'm mentioning here finished. Now the material views also we need to maintain. I will tell you how to maintain this material views, but let's first maintain all the mandatory fields. Basic unit of measure was mandatory. So I will define it here. Each, let's say in your legacy system, it was each. So we'll see how to map it. Another field, it is not mandatory. If you want to fill it, you can fill it. Let's say if you want to fill the net weight, gross weight, let's say I put gross weight is 2, net weight is 1, and unit of measure is kilogram. Okay, that's it. I am maintaining. The rest of the details I am not maintaining, the basic data. Now the views, where is the views? Material views we need to maintain. So what you need to go into the last tab, maintain status settings, and you want to maintain here some code. That code can be simply A, B, C, D, X, Y, Z, anything can be there. Let's say I maintain here material view A. A view is maintaining, under this A view, I am maintaining which data? I am maintaining only basic data. If I am maintaining multiple data, I can enter it here. Now this A, you can maintain here X, and you can say in X, we are maintaining basic data, sales data, purchasing data. You can define something called M. In M, you can say we are defining basic data and MRP data. So we are using only basic data. So I will be using this view A, which I have defined here. We'll go basic data and I will update here material views A. A means the basic data view, which I have mentioned there. That system need to capture the basic data view. If you require, you can also extend it at the plant level. No issues, you can just maintain it. To make it simple, we would be only uploading it on the basic data. So basic data has been filled. I will do Control S, save it. Yes, the data has been saved. Now I will go into this. So we have done the download template. What is it is saved? Let me save it with the proper name. Let me go to Save As. Let me go to Downloads. So this is SG02 Mat1. That name I will give it. Okay. And now I would be going ahead in this template. I would say download I have done. Upload file. Choose file. SG02 Mat1. Open. Give some description, whatever you want to give. Upload initial test mat. Comments you can give it. testing initial upload for SD02. Okay, so now I will click on upload. Okay guys, data has been loaded successfully. If you want to see the data, you can click it here. This is a file. You can upload the multiple files here. So you are getting a multiple files from the multiple departments that you can use it and upload it here. No issues with that, no issues at all. 20 different files you got it, 20 different files you can upload it here. Track it separately. If you want to see what is the data in those files, you can click it here. You can view the data here, but so far they have not given the functionality where the data can be changed. Although the edit button is here, you can go to the edit. With edit, you cannot change the data. The data cannot be modified here. But you can do the comments, the name or the description of the file, that kind of things can be changed. But the data cannot be modified. Data, you can only view it, what kind of fields has been filled up. Okay, I will just save it and go back. If this file you want to download from the repository, you would be able to download it. I will go back. So you need to click it. As soon as you click it, this one, some tabs will get activated. Your delete tab, your open tab, your download tab would be activated. So when you click it here, download, the specific selected file will be downloaded. When you click on the download template, a new blank template would be uploaded. If you click delete, this file would be deleted. So before you proceed ahead, whatever the files you have, you need to make sure the status of the files are correct. So not active means there is no file as active, it is not active. If you want to start the transfer, you want to first change the status. So you need to change the status to activate. As soon as you have clicked on activate, start transfer got activated. Now it is not started, but it is activated. You can click on start transfer. Once you will click the start transfer, the status will change into the in progress. So I will go ahead, I will do that step, start transfer. Okay, it will change the status, that's a warning. So now this process, earlier when we were using this tool first time in 1610, it was taking huge amount of time, huge amount of time. Now it has been improved, drastically improved with the 1809 and 1909. The time taken by this tool has been reduced, the performance has become better. But still, you will see this little bit slowness. If you have created the project first time and you are using it, it can work a little slow.
So Parminder, we have to download the Excel and give the Excel to them, right? To the users to fill the form, not on the system itself.
Yes. So that step, when I have filled the data, actually that you would get it done from the business users. So business users will be filling the data and giving back template to you. Yeah, please go ahead, Puneet.
So that Excel will be up through upload the Excel, right? So I have to search the that's some tab to browse the Excel sheet, right?
See, this is a first step is download template. Second step is update data. Who would be updating data? After downloading the template, you will be sharing with your business user. They will update the data and they will send the files back. Once the files has been sent back, you need to upload the files. Your data migration team would be uploading the files.
Okay, so
and then further process.
Through upload file, all the data will come to the system.
All the data come into the system as a file.
Correct.
It has not gone as a material as of now. You got it, right? Okay, good. So
then as a sorry. So then as a material, it will go after the transfer.
As per material, it will go for transfer. What does that mean?
No. So in the system, it will be created as material. No, not even transfer. I guess at step 9.
Yes, you are correct. At step 9, it would be created in your S/4HANA system as a material. Until that, this is just as a temporary file. Temporary files are there. Yeah, Vikram, you can unmute yourself and ask a question.
Yeah, so the question I have is that, when you have thousands and thousands of material masters that you want to load, manually updating that in the upload file would be very cumbersome from business. So is there a way that you can go to the ECC system, extract the data, and directly find an automated way of putting that data in the upload file? Is there a method to do that?
Yes, so if I will go back here, so we discussed the 3 ways, right? So we are right now in this way. Then we have another way. Another way is this one, where basically it's an automated way. In this way, the manual intervention would not be there. But to use this, you need to have additional tools. So additional tools, SDI, SDQ, or BODS, you need to use it. That can extract data from any system, SAP or non-SAP system, do the automatic transformation, and automatically put the staging files. So there will be no manual handling of the files. This is the second option. Third option is with directly connecting with SAP ECC 6.0 through RFC, you can bring the data in the HANA Migration Cockpit, and there you would be able to do the mappings. But here it is having only mapping options. Your data quality options, your business logics options are not there. If you use this option, you would be having a lot of flexibility that you can do anything here. You can put your business logics here. Let's say if your material type is semi-finished good, your material group should be from SG01 to SG04. Only for this 4 of the material group should be used. Okay, if the material type is finished good, your MRP controller, if the material type is finished good and plant is X, your MRP controller would be MD01. So that kind of all business logics you can put it here. Your removal of the duplications. You can map your addresses. If the same addresses are there, you can identify the customer duplications. All of the data quality part, you can do it here. That is the benefit. So this is the little bit complex architecture, but this will give you the high amount of flexibility and the accuracy of data. But this will involve an additional tool. BODS, you need to take a separate license, separate infrastructure, separate team who would be doing it. You need to have a data services consultants who would be doing this part, activating this part for you. But you would be having very neat and clean data. Data quality would be there. Manual interventions would be less, and errors also would be less.
Yeah, so this is more like the ETL concept. But what we were doing earlier is basically where we are taking a file or a golden file, creating it and uploading it directly, correct?
Yeah, so this is not called ETL. This is TL, transform and load. Extraction, however you're doing it, doesn't depend on HANA data migration. But the full part, if you will consider, it's ETL. You are extracting, transforming, and loading. Here to do this, you will be using multiple tools, right? Extract, yes, you can do manual or whatever way you do, but the full terminology for this is called ETL only. If you will just focus what HANA Migration Cockpit is doing, it is doing T and L part. It is transforming and loading.
Thank you. Great clarification. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay.
And in project, I think so. This is the one which we are learning at the moment. Is the one is popular, I think, because not every company has bots. So I think so. Vapor might develop a program and extract all the information from SAP ECC to extract all the information and put into that format which actually available as for HANA for Excel template. Am I correct? I think so.
You are very correct. So most of the companies where we have done the implementation, they are using this concept, because in LSMW also we are using this concept, because this doesn't take any additional cost. You don't need an additional team. You don't need additional software. You don't need additional license. The HANA Migration Cockpit, this part is part of the license. So you can easily do it. So that's why many people are adopting to this. But whenever it comes to the big companies, like say Fortune 500 companies, one of the biggest FMCG client which we have worked with. So what big companies have that they already have a big infrastructure already available for these different tools. So FMCG company which I am talking about, they were already having a BODS. BODS is not only used for this purpose. BODS is used for the multiple purposes. Any place you want to handle data, send it from one place to another place, do the massage, or do some transformation of the data, you can use BODS. So they were already having a BODS. Team was already there. So because the tool was already available, they already have a license for it. They are using for some different purposes, taking some data from the third-party systems and distributing it to the multiple SAP system they were having. So for that purposes, they were using BODS. So we used their BODS system and we went into this approach. So you need to check with your client. Sometime they would already be having a BODS system. Initially, we would not be knowing that they already have a BODS system, but when we shown this approaches to you, they said the BODS, we are already having it. So we said, okay, that this is a better approach. It's automated approach. Let's use it. Vikram, when you say we are using boards, it means in your company you are using boards, or?
Yeah, that is correct. So I think it's a combination. I think so for the high volume objects and where there's a lot of complexity, I think we'll be using bots, but there will be also some objects where we will be doing direct loads from the spreadsheet, just like you were showing for the simpler objects.
Yes, yeah, the both approach can be used. So if you have a boards can also be used. One more thing, the simpler object which is directly loaded into your S4HANA system. In one of the project what we did, where the data was directly uploaded through the Z programs or other stuff. So the business, to make a sign off, they want to know that whether the correct data went into it or not. So we use BODS system to map all of your target system data with the legacy system data field by field. Each material it will check, each field it will check, and it will let you know that how many materials was existing in the legacy, what materials uploaded into the target system, and wherever the fields are different, for which material, which field is different. So that kind of detailed logic you can build and also do the data validation after the data has been uploaded. For that purposes also, you can use BODS. Okay, guys, so I will move ahead. Guys, any question if you have before I move ahead? If you have any question, you can ask it now. Otherwise, I will complete the cycle and then we'll open for question and answers. Okay, if you don't have any question, let's move ahead. So what we have done, we have uploaded our file. So this is our file which we have uploaded it, and we have started the transfer. So as soon as we have started the transfer, you will see here a multiple messages is coming up. Now this is a little bit a drawback of this system which I don't like. We have also given inputs to SAP that this error control and the message control need to be made a little better. So here it shows you different information messages you can see from here, or error messages, warning messages. Let me click on all. So it will be showing me all of the messages, and so many messages it shows as a success also, which is a technical messages which we are not bothered about. So actually what we go here and we just see here if there is any error message, because success message and other message are so many technical message which we are not bothered about. We are bothered about whether any issues are there. So under the error, we don't have any issues. Even if the error is there, if there are thousands of line items, it doesn't give you the errors line item by line item. It will just throw your material number, and for material number, these 3 errors are there. That kind of things it will be showing. And then you need to map it back to your source field, where that material is and where that error, which line item is having the error. So that is a big drawback of this tool. You need to do some manual work to identify your errors, going back to your source file and correcting them. Okay, right now we don't have any error. Okay, that's good. So here the small button is there in the next. I would prefer the button is there on the top, but sometimes you are just seeing that what to do, where to click, and suddenly at the right bottom the small button is there as a next. But that's a small thing, not a big drawback. So you can just click on the next. Next, it will go to the convert values. So basic validation, if it has done, now it comes to the convert values. So here it can also ask you some kind of basic configuration for this object, and then it will also ask you to map the values. So the first is a little bit technical, where it is asking whether the data is coming from the different external system, and you want to maintain a unique IDs based on the different unique technical IDs, which will be storing information that from which system it is coming from. So we are not depending on any external system. So I'm saying that no integration with the external systems. I don't want to. If you will put it yes here, it will also ask you to mandatorily to tell you a system ID from which where the data is coming from. So I will put no integration. So this is not a mapping. This is kind of a configuration which system is asking for us. Now this rest of these are mapping. So language key, I know I put EN. Industry sector, I put M. So I will not go in these two. I will do the mapping of these ISO codes. So you need to put ISO code for each of your target value. So for each, you know, EA, you can directly put EA here, or you can put F4. If you don't put the mapping, system by default took the initial 3 characters, or whatever the allowed characters in the S4HANA, that system will take it. So I need to search for each. So this is ISO code for each. I will select this. Then I need to select. So you can see as soon as I selected, it turned into green. Now I need to search for kilo. Or let me straight away put the commercial term, which is kg. I don't have anything for kg. Okay, put in caps. So this is ISO code KGM for kg. So at the back end of the system, when you are even in ECC or S4HANA also, when you are putting kg, system store at the back end this ISO code, which is KGM. Similar way you will see for P's, system store PCE. So here we need to give the ISO codes, KGM. Although in the material master, when you will display it, it will display to you in kg only, in the commercial unit. So both has been done. I can click it here, enter. There are the 2 buttons here, export or import. So what you can do, so right now we have only one data. So we are putting this 1 unit of measure. You can also export this template. Okay. So this template has been exported. And you can maintain all of the values together. So that system will, with each of the upload, it will not ask you again and again. So this mapping templates also, oh, why it is showing like this? Okay, it's a CSV file. Let me first save it. Okay, in downloads. Then we can open it as Excel. Now let me open it. I need to change this file. The earlier version, it was coming it correctly, but I need to change. I need to transform it. Let me quickly do that. So go to file. Open. Conference. Still, it is not coming in that proper format. I need to check, but it come in a neat Excel format generally, where basically you can quickly upload it. So I need to check that why in 1909 it is coming like that, whether we need to implement some note to correct it or we are not downloading it correctly. Okay, I will check it that separately. So I will go back to our Chrome. So we are basically, you would be able to download. How to download, I will again recheck why it is not coming in proper format. And that template, you can upload it here. After downloading, filling all the data together, you can upload it so that you're not going back again and again and doing this mapping. So you can do one mapping one time, and then system would automatically do that mapping. Wherever it doesn't find mapping, it will throw you error here to maintain the mappings. I will click on save. Mapping of another thing I want to do, material type, where I need to map to a FERT, right? So here I will map it to FERT. I already know it is a FERT. It turned into green. I will click on save. Let's say if you are already maintained all the correct data, so you need not to maintain any kind of mappings. System will still throw you here 15, 20 or 40 errors. So you can just select them all. If you have already maintained the correct things which need to go in S4HANA, you can just confirm mapping values that whatever is your source thing is equal to your target things. You can click on confirm mapping values. So all of the things system will already resolve. System will take care whatever the source is there that need to go as a target. So mappings has been done. Conversion transformation is completed. Now we'll click on next. Completed. Earlier in 1610, this step, when we were showing a demo, it takes a couple of minutes to do it. Only information messages. Let me quickly check if any error message is there. It has simulated the import, but we don't have any error message. If any error message comes, it will be showing you here. You can download your error messages and you can work on that. I can quickly show you if I have downloaded any error messages. It's available here. Not this one. Okay. It is not available. I will show you, or I will create one thing where basically we have an error message and then we'll download it from here. it will be downloading into the same way where basically your warning or let's say your information message is coming. So we don't have a warning also. Let me go to the information. So this is the way exactly it would be downloading it. Okay, so this is the way, this is the thing which is not good in this tool. Okay, where the information messages, success messages or error messages would be displayed like this. So it doesn't show you mapping with the records which you have given in the Excel file. Especially when you are downloading it 10,000 different materials, then the problem come that then this problem come where basically you would be seeing that error message has been displayed, but again you would not be able to identify from the line item. So what you need to do it from here, you need to go back to your thing, and here it will be showing this. This is a mass issue for SG02 MAT1. You need to identify which line item in your upload template has that, and you need to correct it. So that is quite painful process in this one. However, another third-party tool which we have used, one of the tool which we have used is the process runner. Again, the process runner is a kind of Excel tool. The problem is if the data volume is too high, it's a little bit slow. But that exactly show you that each line item, what is the success, final success message, or final, what are the issues are there in each line item. It will show you within the line item itself. But here this error handling is very poor in this tool. Okay, so simulate has happened. Now we can go ahead and do the execute. Now this has been completed. I will click on close. All information messages, we don't have any material. Don't have any error message. It means the material has been created now. Now this is also another drawback here, that it doesn't give success messages clearly. Although in this file, if you are having a 10 materials and out of 10, 4 are failing, that system will be showing correctly the list it will create that these 4 materials are not successfully uploaded. But here, if all materials are successfully uploaded, you don't get a file output which can say you that, okay, these materials has been uploaded. So what you need to go to the SAP system, and then you need to check your material whether it is available there or not. So if you remember what material code we have given SG02 underscore, I forgot actually. SG02 upload one. So you can see this material is coming here. This material actually has been created. I will just see the basic data view of it. The unit of measure is each. Here you can see unit of measure is kg. Our gross weight, net weight has been populated. The data is available. The same way it can be uploaded into, extended into the plant, sales organization. All other things works perfectly fine. Only the thing, the problem comes when you have huge amount of data. That is the problem. And if the huge amount of data, you get huge amount of errors. Error handling is a problem here. We have seen that from 1610 to 1909, huge amount of improvements has been done in this tool. And SAP also is showing a lot of good commitment to improve this tool and make it to the level that it can replace all other things in future. So what are the drawbacks we are having? We are expecting in the next couple of years, SAP would be working to make the things better. I'm taking a quick pause here to check. Okay, before I take a pause, I will tell one more thing. So from where you can download the data, if you remember our Fiori sessions, if you remember our material master session, our business partner session, we are having a Fiori applications where you can mass download the data. Okay, so with the mass download of the data, you would be able to download all of the data which you have uploaded, and you would be able to validate it. Mass export product master is the application which we have gone through already. So that after loading it, will be download the data after from there. Okay, guys, any questions here? You can raise your hand, you can type it. So I have a question, why did we add the mapping for ISO code? Shouldn't that cascade from the base unit of measure or SUM that will be assigned to the material master in S4? And ISO code is configured in the CUNA table assigned to the relevant UM. That is correct. So we have a two codes. So this each of this your unit is at the back end is linked with the ISO code. So that is what SAP has been provided, that basically because you can get the data from multiple legacy systems, right? So when you are getting the data from legacy systems, they might not be aware some cases that what is a commercial unit of measure. That's why in the unit of measurement mapping, they have given both. You can do a search based on the commercial unit of measure or ISO unit of measure. So the mapping is with ISO unit of measure, and that would automatically display you the commercial unit of measure which is linked. So that is architecture they have followed. Yes, open transactional data is also available. I will quickly show you a few things. I will go back to in our project and we will see there. They are open. So let me finish it. So once it is done, I will click on finish. So what would be happening in finish here, when you will click the finish, it will come here. It will be having one file as a finished. But let's say you are having some issues and errors. If you are having some issues and error, then what would be happening? Here you will be getting two files here. The error file also you will be getting here. That's a good thing. Earlier it was not there. It came, I think, from 1809. So it will be having SG02 MAT1 error. So let's say you try to upload 20,000 records. Out of the 20,000 records in simulation, it shows you the 500 are with the errors. Okay, or sometime it doesn't show you simulation. Something happened, the object get logged when you are updating the data. That kind of thing happened, and the error came out for 500. So it will show you that this file has finished, and it will create a separate file for the material which is unsuccessful. Your 500 material source file would be available here. That this is the 500 materials which got errored out. So we'll show this. I will try to show this example tomorrow, how the error file will come up. So then you can work on this. So basically what we know, we downloaded this error file. We correct any errors need to be corrected, and then we create a new file. We save it as a new file and we upload it. Once we upload it, then we go ahead here and delete this error files. Once the correction has been done and we uploaded new file, then this would be deleted. The error file we will delete it. So that is another functionality which we are having. So I will show you tomorrow one example where basically we might get some error, so that it would be quick view for you if the error comes, how to deal with the errors. Okay, let me save this one. Okay, guys, any questions here? Do we have any kind of question here? Through project, can data move to QA production? No. Data doesn't move to QA production, guys. It is the same thing which we do in ECC and S4HANA. So here what we will be doing, we will be moving the project, and project would be only moving the objects and the changes with the objects you have done. It will not move the data. Data we need to fresh upload into your quality system and fresh upload into the production system. You can use the same templates which you have already prepared, fine-tuned, corrected it. Same templates can be used, but with the import export, the data will not move. Data you need to freshly upload in the quality system and the production system. Anyone else has any other question? So, yeah, Vikram, please go ahead.
So I don't know if I imagined it, but you know, when you were showing that material that you loaded through MM03, I thought we only loaded the basic view. How did we get the other views created for that material?
Okay, to make it simplified and quick, I show only the basic view. Let me quickly show you our template. So here, this is our template, right? So here we have only entered the data in the basic data. So you can go ahead and you can enter the data in the plant data. The plant view would be extended. You can go ahead and enter the data into the story location data. Story location would be extended, and multiple different tabs are available. Warehouse data if you want to put, material descriptions if you want to put, alternate unit of measures if you want to put, all the data is available here. Accounting data you want to put, sales data you want to put, purchasing data you want to put. You need to fill the data into the multiple tabs, and you need to load the data.
Sure. So Parminder, that's exactly what I was asking, that we did not populate it in the sheet, but somehow when you brought up the MM03 screen, it seemed like there were multiple views already maintained for that material. So when we did not populate the sheet, how did it get created?
No, it's
Or
not
maybe
created. Only the data which is at the basic data which has been created. So basic data 1, basic data 2, this is all the client level data which system is showing. It doesn't have any data which we have maintained.
Oh, I see. Got it. Thank you. It's only the Mara
Only
table
the Mara.
data. Yeah, got it. Thank you. Sorry. Yeah, that's great. Thank you.
Okay, guys, any other questions? Before we end our today's session, I will show you one more example related to our customer, business partner, and then you can start exploring this tool and use this tool to load some data. Tomorrow, we would be spending some time that how to do the changes, if new fields need to be added, fields need to be removed, how the HANA migration cockpit modeler need to be used. That we'll be seeing it tomorrow. I have a question from Puneet. Yes, so in our case, Puneet, what we have done, we have already updated the material. So if the same material you want to use it to extend to the plant, this template will not work. You can use this template when you are creating a material. While creating, you want to extend to the multiple plants, story location, sales org, purchase org. This template will work. Our template will work. But now we have already uploaded the material. Now for this material, if you want to go ahead and update the plant level data, our existing template will not work. You need to go ahead. Let me show you. You need to go ahead in our project. I will go back. And there's another template here, material extension. So here you are having material extend existing record by new org levels. So now our record is existing. Now we need to use this object. This object would be having the same kind of fields, but another object if the material is already extended. That many times it would be happening. You would just get the basic data from the one of the set of users, you will upload the basic data, and then you are getting a plant specific data and sales stock data from the different teams. So whenever you get the data, you can use this view to extend to the multiple views. Second one, I will just download the template and show to you. The template is exactly same way, and the concept, the way it works, is also exactly same. So you can download the template from here. Just keep it. Again, you will be seeing here the data, basic data, plant ID, story location, and all other things are there. You can use this for the extension. Okay, another question was there related to the open transactions. Let me close all of this. Let me go back here and see the open transactions. There would be purchase orders, open purchase orders. Let's search from here. Account payable open items, receivable open items, GL balance open line items, sales order open items, purchase order open items. It might happen you might not be able to see each and everything which you want to see in the migration cockpit, as the standard objects are not available. So they are increasing the standard object. Now, as of now, the count is up to 80. So if the other things, if it is not available, I will tell you that how manually you can create it by using HANA migration modeler. Tomorrow I will show you, or you need to develop your own Z codes to do that. So this is for purchase orders. So you can upload your open purchase order during your cutover by using this. It will be having all the field list, header data, item data, everything is available here. So multiple objects are there. While using some objects, you might also be getting some errors. To resolve the error, the best part is to go to the Launchpad, support Launchpad, and search for the SAP notes. So whenever we got stuck here with the templates, we search for SAP notes, we find the solutions from there. Okay, so that is the best place to go. Because it is still new, Google might not be having each and everything. So better to search whenever you're stuck with the business partner stuff or migration cockpit, search in the Launchpad. Support launchpad.com, SAP support Launchpad. Okay, guys, now let me quickly show you the customer part. Okay, so once we cover these two, material and customer, I leave it to you. There are so many templates are there. You can just go by yourself and explore it. So let's quickly do one more thing, customer, and then we'll be ending our session for today. Okay, so let me go here. Let me go back. Let me find the customer. So this one now, I would be doing it little quickly, guys. Okay, because we now know the basic concept, so I will do it little quickly. So this is customer. I will click it here. Customer. It will copy. This is object which will copy to my project. Okay, do the copy. Okay, it's copied. Download template. Keep. Open the template. Go to the general data. Let's enable editing so that we can fill the data. Customer number. I will put anything XYZ because we want to we'll be using our internal number range. This is just for the mapping. It's mandatory to put some number here. This is to map your records, that which records you have uploaded, and this records in the another tabs, it will get connected with this unique key. BP grouping, our BP grouping, if you remember, is SG02. Account group not mandatory to maintain. If you remember our configurations in the business partner, if your configuration is flexible account group of customer, then you need to put, otherwise there is no need to put account group. Name I will put here SG02 upload from HANA Migration Cockpit. LTMC HANA Migration Cockpit. So I will only put the mandatory fields here to quickly finish it. What else is mandatory here? Okay, let me check from this field list. BP grouping I have filled. Country is mandatory. Language is mandatory. Okay, I will search these fields and I will maintain. Country is mandatory. This is country. Okay, I will also maintain some another city, some other data here. Postal code, city, New York. Let me put postal code as country as US. Then language I need to put. This is the language. This time I am putting exactly values. I will not be doing any mappings. I'll just confirm all the mappings. Another thing in blue, in yellow, BP roles, so it's mandatory. My customer number is XYZ. What I will do here in name 3, let me put it XYZ. Okay, in BP roles, I will put it here XYZ, and BP role, I will be updating FLCU00, the customer business partner at the company code level that we are going to update. Then additional addresses I don't want. I want a company code level data. So sales org, sales partner, multiple data are there. I'm just updating the company code level data. Company code SG02, which we have already created. And the reconciliation account, we remember it's a mandatory field, and we created our own reconciliation account. If you guys remember, reconciliation account we created was 4,000. Reconciliation account 4,000. Control S. I'll do a save as SG02 customer. Okay, so this has been saved. Let me quickly upload it. Upload file. SG02 customer. Description SG02 customer. SG02 customer. Upload. Okay, file has been uploaded. Let me activate it. It is activated. Let's start transfer. Okay. It will be doing some basic validation that whether the data is there as per Excel or not. If some of the mandatory field Excel, it is not there, even it will stop you when you upload the Excel, it will stop you there itself, that there is something mandatory in Excel field which you have not filled. So you need to fill that. So at the upload level itself, it will stop you. In which sequence the data need to be loaded, that as a functional consultant, you should be knowing it, that what is the sequence. SAP tried to define the dependency. Each of the object, when you will see at the right hand side, dependency is there, but that is not absolute dependency. Don't go with that. As a functional consultant, you already know if material need to be created at the plant level, you are using a profit centers also. First profit center need to be created. Then you would be able to create your materials at the plant level. But if you don't need a profit center, then it is not required. So functional consultant should be aware of the flow of the data flow, that in which flow, what are the dependencies, and which flow it should not, it should go. Now it is showing me error. Okay. So let me show you that how the errors look like. And if there is 1,000 of errors are there, it would be very difficult. So this is how it shows the error. So if I have a 10,000 line item and the error come like this, it is very difficult for me to identify the error. So it is saying that customer number XYZ, BP role is missing data that refers the second record from the sheet general data. Okay, let's see. What is the issue? XYZ SG02 company code. It is able to identify BP role FLC00. Okay, here we have put it in smalls. Let me put in caps. Now I need to save it in another file. So that's good. Now you also able to see once the error comes, what happens. This is another problem. Once the error comes, I need to go back from the simulation or wherever the error comes, correct it and upload the new file. I will cancel the process. Now I will go here. I will delete this and I will upload it new. This customer one. So in simulation also, if you want to go ahead with all the data corrected, you need to cancel your processing, download the errors, correct the errors, and again upload the new source file. Make it active. Start transfer. You see, when I'm using second time the same object, the speed is a little bit better now. Earlier it got stuck a lot of time at 5%. Now the speed is better in second time. All warnings, let's go ahead. Okay, now it came to my configuration. So it is asking me to do some little bit configuration and the mappings. Whether we need to check all digital payment tokens, that data we have not maintained. I'm saying not to be checked, save. So this is kind of a configuration. Whether numbering is internal or external, that we need to tell. We are using internal numbering. So internal numbering and save. That's another step of configuration. Again, whether it is coming from any external system, where the external system ID need to be given. Sorry, I will say no integration with external system. We are just loading it from Excel. All of these things, I will select it now because I know I have filled the correct data, and I will put confirm mapping values. And system will store it forever. Again, the same values come, it will not throw this error. Okay, so mappings has been maintained. Let's go next. Next we simulate whether there is any error or issues are there. Done. Click on close. Only warnings. Next. Next would be execute the export. Done. Click on close. Only warning messages. Okay, let's go ahead. Let's check our BP transaction. Or another application also we have gone through, guys. I hope you remember. Download mass data of business partner. Once this upload activity is done, we can use the Fury application to download the mass data. So here I need to search my customer. My company code is SG02. So let's search. SG02 upload from HANA Migration Cockpit. It is available here. The data has been created. We can see the business partner here. I have given the name 3 as a reference XYZ, so it is appearing here. The XYZ material which we have given has been created here. Okay. Now you can also go and check the, this is the generic data. You can go to FLCU00. You can check company code level data. It is extended to company code SG02. The customer number is 37045. Business partner number is same as a 37045. That is depending on our configuration which we have done. And reconciliation account 4000 has been created. Fantastic. Okay, guys, so we have completed our today's exercise and we have completed how to use HANA Migration Cockpit. If you guys have any questions, you can ask it now. We'll continue this chapter in tomorrow's session, where I will show you how you can go ahead and do the changes. So this is what we have done all with the standard. If you need to go ahead and change it, the HANA Migration Modeler, it's a functionality available, where we'll be changing the Excel templates. The Excel templates which we'll see how to change them in tomorrow's session. If you have any kind of questions related to today's topic, that's what you can ask it first. You can unmute yourself and ask the question if there's any question. I have a question on the chat. Okay, yeah, Vikram, you can coordinate with Arsh, and if you want to log off, you can log off. Now it would be question and answer sessions. Okay, guys, any questions? I need to spend some time with Puneet. He has some generic questions, but before that, do we have any questions from today's topic or previous couple of topics? If any questions are there, you can ask it.
Ravinder, is Puneet here. Maybe tomorrow we can do. Today, let me explore again. Okay.
Okay, sure. No issues, Puneet.
Yeah.
No issues,
and collect all the issues and discuss one time.
Sure. No issues. Anytime. Anyone else? Yeah, Jasdeep.
Who's the trainer for SD, you said?
SD would be Mr. Raj.
Okay.
PP is Mr. Tara. Any another question, guys, before we end our today's session? Okay, guys, if you don't have any another question from today's session, we are closing it here for today. Thank you everyone for joining today. We'll catch back again tomorrow and we'll continue our learning journey on the data migrations. Thank you for joining today. Have a great day ahead. Bye-bye for now.